Let's now get a reaction from Ukrainian MP Kira Rudik. Kira, thank you for joining us on W News. Tell us a bit more about this prison strike that we've seen today. Do you believe it was a deliberate attack on civilians?
We would be very surprised if it was not a deliberate attack on civilians, and it will be honestly perhaps the first times during the full-scale invasion when it would not be a deliberate attack on civilians. We have seen and we have confirmed with our international partners that Russia is attacking civilian infrastructure, homes, schools, kindergartens, train stations, and they have absolutely no remorse and have been doing it since the day one. There has been an enormous amount of statements from our international partners regarding that. But what we have seen is statements do not stop Russia.
Tell us a bit about this correctional facility in Bilinkivska. What do we know about it and what sort of a facility is it? What sort of inmates are detained there?
So it's one of the facilities that we have in Ukraine. We are unfortunately unable to move all the facilities from closer to the front line, and Russia has again attacked it to kill more Ukrainians as they do. We obviously feel remorse and regret, and we support the relatives of people who were killed there.
Ukraine has said that this is a war crime. What steps are being taken to document this and also to pursue accountability?
We have special teams that are working on documenting war crimes, and we are working with our international partners again. So I will be speaking to you not from the information that I'm getting from Ukrainian officials, but so that we will have the confirmation from our partners that what Russia is conducting are war crimes, especially that we have received this year a support from our European partners on setting up a special tribunal that will allow us at some point to make sure that Russia and Russian officials are being held accountable for all kinds of the war crimes that Russia has committed since the beginning of full-scale invasion, in again killing the civilians, attacking civilian infrastructure, kidnapping Ukrainian children, kidnapping Ukrainian people, tortures, rapes, all the crimes that they have committed, basically all the crimes from the war crimes list. And we are working very closely and very intensively with our partner to make sure that at some point everybody will have their justice, both Ukrainian people who suffered, but also Russian criminals who committed it.
Kira, are you seeing a pattern now of Russia hitting, as you mentioned there, the civilian targets, so the civilian infrastructure, such as penitentiaries across Ukraine? Are we seeing more of a pattern with that?
This pattern, again, has been there since the beginning of full-scale invasion. Russia is not being able to fulfill their goals at the battlefield, so they keep terrorizing Ukrainians at our peaceful cities, where they are basically trying to kill as many people as possible, to create havoc, to bring in horror, to make sure that Ukrainians are not being as resolute as we were in supporting our army, in fighting back. Russia is failing at it, but what they are able to do is obviously to kill many people. And this is why we keep asking for more air defense systems. This is why we keep working with our partners on closing our skies to be able to protect people who are sleeping in their beds.
How are because we've reports of over 80 people injured, the prison staff are included in that. How are the emergency services coping with the scale of this attack?
Oh, it's the only thing that I can tell you, that we are taking our hats off to our emergency services who are able to work in really dire conditions, especially that over time we have seen that their work has been even more dangerous because Russia sometimes repeats the attack at the same place after the emergency services, emergency workers has gathered to remove the rubble, to help the wounded, and they are attacking once again. And this is why it has been a really heroic efforts of our emergency services to be able to help at every attack, and especially at the attacks at scale where you have many wounded, where the attack is really massive. And this is one of the examples to show our partners that no matter the humanitarian support that you're giving us with the fire trucks, with the ambulances, at the attacks like this, you cannot have enough, right? You need all the resources that you can get, and you're getting it throughout the region. And so the tools that we are getting from our partners to act during the tragedies like this, during the terrorist attacks like this, are very critical and allow some people to have chance in surviving.
Kira, Donald Trump now says that Russia has 10 to 12 days to act or it will face more sanctions. How has that been received in Kiev by you and your colleagues?
With cautious optimism, I would say. We have heard President Trump saying Putin will receive 50 days. So basically all the attacks that happened recently that we discussed with you, they were happening under the allowance of President of the United States, who said, well, this is the time that Putin has. Nobody would think that Putin will use this time to stop the war. He would only use this time to kill more people, and this is what he has been doing. It is good that the President of the United States is finally understanding that there is nothing to talk to Russia about. There's nothing to agree with Putin about, because he will fool you and he is not interested in peace. However, we hope that the President of the United States remains firm and that he will be able to deliver on his promise of the sanctions, of the pressure onto Russia. Because in May, European leaders have gathered in Kiev and has made very strong statement that if there is no ceasefire, that the very strong sanctions will follow. And after that, there has been at least like 3 or 4 months before the sanctions have taken place. And of course, Russia was taking it as appeasement. So right now, President Trump needs to deliver on his promise, and we hope that he will be firm.
Ukrainian MP Kira Rudik, thank you so much for joining us on W News.